Hey everybody, it's Jay Baer from Convince and Convert, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Marvels, where I bring together some of the most interesting, fascinating, and useful marketing technology in the world. We do a quick demo, and I tell you who should buy this software. Look, so many of us are making content, right? We're making more content than ever. All the research shows that marketers are creating more content than ever, both B2B and B2C. But how do you actually get that content to perform, right? There's a sea of content out there. It's harder than ever to get results. One of the very best ways to get results is to make your content interactive. That's what we're going to talk about today on the Marketing Marvels show, how to add a layer of interactivity into your content to improve your results by up to 5 times. Think about that. What if the content that you're making today did 5 times the results that it's doing today just by adding a layer of interactivity? You can absolutely do that, and it's not nearly as complicated or as difficult as you might think. And to talk to us about a fantastic company that makes that happen, SnapApp, it is Mr. Aaron Dunn, who is the Senior VP at SnapApp. Mr. Dunn, thank you for being on Marketing Marvels.
Thank you so much for having me, Jay. It's looking forward to it, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
So tell us a little bit about the platform, what it does. Obviously, we'll do a demo in just a second, but maybe frame it up for Marketing Marvels viewers, kind of how the platform came to be and the most important use case for it.
Yeah. So when we think about marketing in 2016, it's really pretty incredible. All the various options, all the different things that we can do, and particularly as it relates to content, as you alluded to a moment ago, we're really faced with this explosion of content. Everybody that I know of, all of my peers, everybody really jumped on this notion of content marketing to really tell a better story, and to get out there and really engage with your customers at a much deeper level. Unfortunately, not all content is great content, and marketers are doing their very best to communicate and tell a story, but in fact, we're having a lot of unintended consequences, which is making it increasingly hard and difficult to break through. Enter interactive content, right? So the idea of trying to figure out how you might resonate better with your audience, how you might tell a better story that really connects with the pain, the needs, the emotion, the fear, of your prospects. It starts with creating a better experience, and how do you tell a differentiated story. So what we built is a platform to help you do just that. We have an interactive platform that helps marketers, allows marketers to create interactive content super simple. Think of sort of PowerPoint for interactive content. We want it to be as easy as possible because we believe that you need to really rapid fire iterate new ideas, and you don't have a lot of time. And so our platform supports today 9 different types of interactive content, from interactive white papers, assessments, quizzes, ROI calculators, games, brackets, interactive video, and those kinds of things, all with the goal of telling a different story, a better story, to get your prospects and your customers to engage with you, and then ultimately moving those folks down the funnel into your lead funnel into sales.
I think one of the interesting things that you just said, Aaron, is that marketers can put this into practice themselves. This isn't necessarily a tool at SnapApp that you have to go recruit friends in IT to be like, hey, can you guys please in your spare time find some dev time to implement this? You can actually do this yourself.
That's right, and that's the entire goal of everything that we do here in SnapApp, is to empower the marketer to do the work. If you need to engage an agency, or you need to engage a creative services team to go execute, then we haven't done our job well enough, because I know I've been doing this long enough, and the people who are listening today, know that it's very rare that you find that one silver bullet, that one thing that makes the whole business. And when you do, great, good for you. That's awesome. We'll be seeing you at the next presentation at whatever conference. But more often than not, for most of us, we have to test lots of different things, and then we actually tend to hit more singles and doubles to find the triple. And the more we can enable you to get more content out there, to tell a better story, and really create what we call, the term we use is content-enabled campaigns. So using content in your campaign and your demand gen strategies to engage with your prospects, get more prospects into your funnel, but also help sort out which ones are the best ones for sales. We're trying to find what the term we also use here is called the super MQL, right? The best of the best leads. But more importantly, getting your prospects to engage with you and tell you that information such that you can send them on to sales in a much more efficient and effective way.
Fantastic. You ready to show us under the hood?
I'll do my best.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to give you the power to present to everybody. Now you are. Let's see your screen, and we'll make it happen.
All right. Let's see if I do this right. If I don't, 50
We'll fake it.
We'll fake it until you make it. All right. So
bam, look at that. Here we go.
Boom. So you should be looking at our website.
Yes.
So I think the easiest way to talk about what it is that we do is to really think about the different kinds of examples and how our customers are using SnapApp today. So if you go on our website here, we have conveniently right here in the top nav all of our examples. We have this lovely customer example gallery where we show many of our very best examples of things like assessments, calculators, infographics, videos, etc. And really we're adding more and more to these every day as we get them. And what I wanted to show, at the highest level is the way that you can think about using SnapApp and plugging it into your demand gen activities and bringing in more content to create more value for your prospects. So here's an example of a company called ServiceNow, where they created a blueprint. It's a little bit long, not necessarily what everybody would want to do, but you're able to start to assess your prospects and understand, are they going to be good for you? So most companies I talk to, their sales organization has some level of criteria that they're always asking in those initial conversations to do further qualification to understand, hey, are you a good prospect or not? And every company I've ever worked for, sales is always asking, hey, can you tweak your scoring algorithm? Can you can you get this data up front so that I don't have to ask that question, these 9 questions, 4 questions, whatever they are in the sales process? Typically, as marketers, we do that through progressive profiling, right? The first time you come, I'm going to ask you for your name, company, and email address. And the next time you come, I'm going to ask you the next thing. And the next time you come, the third and fourth on the line. The problem with that is it requires your prospect to keep coming back and taking another action. Well, it doesn't always happen. It's also very passive. So we work with our customers on these assessments. It's something that a lot of our customers do. If we just jump right in here to ServiceNow's assessment, they're asking a series of questions here. In their case, do you have a growing list of open and overdue IT issues? Right, this is a big thing for them. So in their case, yes, it's a challenge. It's a good prospect. Are you having difficulty getting issues resolved promptly the first time? Yes, we're really busy. So these are all questions that they designed that get at the heart of the value prop of their product. But it's a very engaging experience. Maybe they already have a service desk solution. As you can see here from these dots at the bottom, there are quite a few of these questions. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see that we're getting more and more information from the prospect, and we are getting a deeper level of engagement from as people go through it.
And so that's assessment is built inside your tool, and then I think it was on their website, or it's on your website.
Well, this example, because we've cloned it to show on our website, but in their case, yes, they have deployed this on their website. So we're creating an app, and that app can either live on our landing page or it can live on a customer's website.
So you just embed it into your own website then.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Right.
So how do I build this thing, or anything else like an ROI calculator or an interactive white paper or interactive video? So let's pop into the product here. When I log in, the first thing I'm going to see, and we're in the middle of a pretty broad design revamp, UX overhaul right now. So it's going to look a little bit different here, probably in about 2 months, but this is what it looks like today. One of the first things you can see is a dashboard of how are your applications, running, and you're actually looking at the live marketing team data. So don't look too carefully, but things are running. But at a high level, we're looking at a snapshot of overall performance, how many people are viewing the apps, what's the click rate of those apps, how many leads are we getting, right? The goal here is to drive more leads, find that 5x improvement over static content. We're seeing, we can see things clicks by channel, at a very summary level. Where are things in my build workflow? What have I deployed? Now, again, this is the SnapApp marketing team, right? So there's a lot of apps here. Not everybody has this many apps running. So if I wanted to go in and say, all right, so this is what's performing, back here at the home, I can see all the various apps. Oops, I run a quick filter, which I'll get rid of. So these are all the various apps that we've got running. It's searchable, which we'll see in a second. But you can very quickly see what's in draft, what's been published, and you can jump in and see the metrics of all the different types of apps you might be running. If I wanted to create a new app, it's very simple. Again, our goal here is to make it as simple as possible, and we're constantly making new changes. As I mentioned, we're in the middle of a UX overhaul as well, to continue to make this easier and easier and easier for folks to use. So if I wanted to create a new app, we just launched this new approach here. So we have, like I said, a bunch of different types of apps that I might want to launch. But if I wanted to do one of those assessments that I just saw, I just use an assessment. And then, so this is going to give me, I guess we're already in the assessment. So here we go. If I want to choose a theme, I come down here and say, all right, so right now I have no theme. Maybe I want like the energy theme, so I can see, how this might set up. And then I'm going to choose my layout. Do I want it to be multi-page portrait or single-page scrolling, multi-page landscape? So you can make these changes, right? So then, then you go ahead and create. And it's that simple. Now, all these templates we're continuing to add to our templates. These are all suggestions, right? So if you want to create your own, using your own themes, it's very simple to do that. It's very simple to import your own CSS structures and your own design styles, so you can make it look,
It'd be almost like making an HTML email, right? Just with some other elements.
That's right. That's right. So again, you just go through here and you have this panel. It looks very much like PowerPoint, as you can imagine, where you can add pages, etc. So rather than building one on the fly, we're just going to come back up here to all of my existing ones. Yes, I want to leave this side.
This is like a cooking show. Like, imagine when it comes out of the oven, it looks like.
Yeah, that's right. So one of the things we talk to our customers about is really developing apps at every stage of the funnel. And really thinking about what it is that you're trying to do, because that's going to gauge how you should measure it. So you think about the top of the funnel. I want to create lots of engagement. I want to have something fun. I want to get people involved in what we're doing. That might be one type of app. And I might be measuring clicks and views and completions, right? But something like an assessment, or an ROI calculator might be very bottom of the funnel. I want people to move to the next stage of my lead flow. So there I might be measuring lead form submits and opportunity creation.
Sure. Yep.
Too often, I think in all marketing, not just people working with SnapApp, we maybe misalign what we're measuring against the goal of whatever campaign we're running. So we wind up
we're measuring engagement deep in the funnel. We're measuring leads top of the funnel. We just got it all mixed up.
Exactly. Winds up being a big old mess, right? So so I'm going to show you something that we did that was super fun. That was a very top of the funnel. So let me show you something that we did, which was a Game of Thrones assessment. Everybody loves Game of Thrones. I'm going to admit here, and I may be shunned from all future cool marketing things, but I actually haven't watched it.
Don't start. It's gonna cost you like 50 hours of your life. I gotta tell you, it's a worthwhile 50 hours, but you're gonna have to carve out some time if you get started.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very simple thing. Hey, have some fun. This was before the latest season launched. Discover your Game of Thrones house. So this is the back end. This is what you would see in the landing page. And then we're going to ask you a series of questions. And as you can see here down the side, our first question is, what is your go-to button color? Right? Do you like blue or red or sepia or green? Right? So you're going to make a choice there. So these all have logic behind them. Question 2, what's your marketing motto? We're sort of gaining more insight from you as you go through. Anyway, you're going to go down this whole thing, and I'll share it out in a second at the end. But more importantly is this lead gen form here. So how do you feel about your marketing? Do you want to give us your email address? So in this logic is where the magic really happens. So it's kind of a cool experience. We're learning things about you in a very fun and dynamic way, very top of the funnel. But if we get your information, I'm asking for your information because you want to take the next step. Now we can start moving you down our lead funnel. And we have learned through this process a whole bunch of very interesting things about you. And I'll show you how that comes to play in here in a second. So we're connecting this directly into your marketing automation platform. In our case, we use Marketo. So we have this.
But I assume you also integrate into other platforms as well?
That's correct. We do all the big ones, but certainly, obviously the most popular ones these days, Marketo, Eloqua, HubSpot, Pardot, Acton, Salesforce, you name it.
Great.
And if we need to add one, we will. So what's interesting is we have these different fields where we're collecting data, and we've mapped them. We'll show you what this looks like in Marketo. We've just mapped them to different fields in Marketo, and we're sending across the data how you answered the question. So if I did this the right way, and this is where things really, so we see where you're sending it to Marketo. So this is everybody who filled out in Marketo. Now we're in our live instance of Marketo. This is everybody who filled out, the SnapApp. And we're going to pick up Patrick Moynihan here. Again, this is a live lead, and you can see if we scroll down here, because we have a lot of noise in here because we use Salesforce for a lot of this stuff. His questions, right? So question one, he's filled out blue. Yeah. Sales and marketing alignment is key. Yeah. Garden, Wolf, okay, we don't need those things, but account-based marketing and sales enablement are key issues for him. They're looking to update their interactive tool, right? So this is all information that can then get passed on to sales, that sales can use to have a much more strategic conversation with that prospect. Hey, I know that sales and marketing alignment is a key issue for you. Let me tell you about how we can help you with that.
Nice.
Right? Yeah. Even more interesting, in addition to that, because sales loves that, is we can also run differentiated nurturing against how you.
I was just going to ask you that. So send a follow-up email to everybody who said Wolf and sales enablement, and send them a special sales enablement was raised by wolves email.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And that's really where the magic happens, because now you're running a differentiated nurture stream against very micro segments. And you can really test that out and figure out what's the, who are really top of the funnel and who are moving through the lead funnel, and who can you accelerate, try and find those super MQLs, if you will. So now on the Salesforce side, again, live data, don't look too carefully. We can see here that here, SnapApp result, this guy wound up in the house of Stark. And, and again, that information is available for folks. So if I go, it's all through, this question and answer process.
And so I love the assessment. You said other things you can make, infographics.
Yep.
And videos.
Yep.
What else was on that list of 9 things?
Well, let's go back and let's look at that list of 9 things. I do want to leave the site because the rest of the marketing team will be mad at me if I overwrote their Game of Thrones. So polls and surveys, okay. Contests, blank canvas, sort of create what you want. Contests, we did, there's a lot of different people do different types of contests. You can imagine lots of different things. Bracket challenges are a relatively new thing for us. We ourselves did a campaign around what's your most binge-worthy TV show, in a classic bracket style, and got a lot of people to engage. Now, those people are not leads by any stretch of the imagination, but they're now engaging with our content in a fun and interesting way. And now we can sort of pull them. We can do other marketing to them to kind of move them down the funnel.
Did you capture email address, or you didn't even identify them?
Yeah, we did. We did capture email address. But one of the things that's interesting, it's sort of hard to see in the code unless you know what you're looking for. But we can actually also, we have a 2-way integration. So if we already know who you are, you can actually set that lead form to skip.
Okay.
So,
nice.
if Jay Baer is already in your database, we already know who you are. We already know where you work. When you're coming in and filling out and participating in one of these particularly top of the funnel campaigns, we can just skip. We don't even show you the lead form because we already know who you are.
We already know who you are. That's nice.
Yeah. We had one of our customers, HCSS, which is a a construction software company that sells to construction companies. They created a bracket, your most outstanding or most interesting project that you built. They wound up with, like, I don't know, 130 or so submissions from their customers. Several 100,000 people participated and voted on the, all the way through the bracket. Actually, at one point it broke their website. They had so much traffic.
Wow.
And really created some really dynamic engagement with their customers at a level they'd never been able to experience before.
Especially for these interactive apps that are top of the funnel.
Right.
So you're largely interacting with people who perhaps you don't have a relationship with historically. What is the promotional layer for that? Are you driving people to the bracket, for example, through social, through paid? How do people know that this bracket exists?
Yeah, so that's you still do need to promote, and you have to get it out there using however you want. Most people do social, email, website, sort of your standard standard ways of thinking about it. Some of our forward-thinking customers are also starting to bring these into events. Where they either have it at an event on an iPad or something like that, or they're creating apps before the event. Hey, I know you're going to this show. Love to get you some thoughts about what you might want to see there and how you can engage. Actually, Oracle just did something with us around MME this year. This is your, assuming you're able to see this.
Yes.
Yep. Good. So you can, say, hey, why are you, this is for 2016, which just happened. I didn't go in 2015. Here's why I might want to attend this year. Are you B2B or B2C? So, based on all these different picks, you're starting to build an agenda that that's really customized and relevant to you.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I was actually at that event and spoke. I didn't get a chance to see this assessment, though. It's great.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Did you show up here? If I thought of it ahead of time, I would have tailored this so that your session.
It's okay. It's quite all right. Don't worry about
it. But yeah, so there's different ways in their case, they have a next call to action, right? Download the mobile app, learn more about how it might work for you, share it out on Facebook, right? So there's a lot of different things that you can do to promote next actions as well.
And so in the dashboard that we looked at earlier, as the marketer, I'm going to get data on visits. So how many people actually used that assessment? I'm going to get some sort of conversion rate metrics, and the leads are going to go into whatever marketing automation system I direct them to.
That's right. So, and then you have a choice by the way, what information you send across. We're not, today attempting to replace, Marketo or Salesforce as your system of record. What we're trying to do is really inform and help you make more strategic decisions about what's working and what's not. So you can say, hey, this app is a home run. Let me, or even a solid double, maybe I should double down and do more of it. Or, hey, I got a great idea, but it doesn't seem like it's performing. Maybe I need to do more. I need to do more promotion to get more people's eyes on it. I think a lot of times, unfortunately, we maybe have a little bit of hubris about how great our website is. Some people really actually have a great website, some people don't. But yeah, hey, I promoted it. I put up on my website and I sent out a tweet. Well, all right, that can work. You might want to do a little bit more with it, and you can really start to see that come out in the data. So you can drill down app by app and see how each app is working.
Are there any technology requirements to embed this into a site? Do you have to have a certain type of site platform or anything along those lines?
You do not. It's
Nice.
Straight up embed code, so you can put it wherever you want, and we have people putting on it everything you can imagine. Again, for some people, they would prefer, they, for whatever reason, maybe IT is a pain. They can't, they can't create new pages. So we do give you the option of hosting it on one of our landing pages.
Hosted landing page, sure.
Yeah. There's lots of good reasons to do that. I think most people would prefer to host it within their own infrastructure, which makes total sense.
How does the interactive video work with so much content moving toward video? I'm interested to understand the interactive element of that.
Yeah. So the question is, do I have an example on the website right now? I think I do. If I don't, I apologize. We should. Okay. So we'll leave off the folks who actually do video for a living. Let's look at CEP. So this is going to play the right way. Can you see the video?
Yeah. Can hear it as well.
You can hear it.
How do you win a B2B sale when there are 5.4 people on average involved in every purchase?
So you can see how we in this case, they've overlaid a question.
Nice. Yep.
Right?
And is that question coming from your app?
That's right. Now, the nice thing about video is this video doesn't actually live in our system at all, right? So if you got a YouTube video, or you got a Wistia video, or Brightcove, or Video, or any of those top video platforms, your video, we just go grab your video and then we add these interactive elements to it. You don't have to like throw out your Vidyard or Brightcove install, right? We ride alongside that. This is really the key thing here to think about when you think about interactive content and you think about SnapApp specifically, is we want to extend. We can help you create new things as well, but we also want to help you extend the existing assets that you have. Like this video may have already existed, but you want to breathe new life into it by adding some additional interactive elements to it. One area where some really forward-thinking folks are doing some interesting things is webinar replays. Right? We had a webinar. We had lots of great people attend. They had a live experience, and then we take that. Most people take that flat video, store it up as a movie file somewhere, and then gate it with a lead form, and great. Now you can watch it, but you have none of that sort of experience from watching it live. You can recreate. You can add questions. You can engage different levels of information in that webinar replay. To make it more, make it a better experience.
But that video is not choose your own adventure. So if I click yes or no here, it's not going to change the subsequent video content.
That's right. And there are ways, that you can sort of fake it out a little bit.
Branch it and all that. But yeah.
Yeah. But that's going to require a lot of video.
Right.
And right. The ambulance going by, but the joys of downtown Boston. So if you want to go and shoot all that video to create a choose your own adventure, there are ways to do it. Most people honestly don't have that kind of time or energy.
Sure. But then all these clicks inside the questions that are laid on top of the video will then go into your database of record.
That's right. So again, now nice. When we're in the builder over here, if I was creating a interactive video, okay, sorry. Now we're, so there's Seth, right? Lead form. You can add lead forms, and all this data when we configure it is going to show up in our case, Marketo.
I love it. It's great. Fantastic. Good demo. Anything else you want us to look at?
No, I mean, we could spend all day here, right? But I think we gave you a good example.
It's terrific.
A number of good examples of kind of how you can get started. And I think, and that's really the key, right? Is that you have the ability to do lots of different things. You have the ability to, hey, there we're back. You have the freedom, to really choose and create your own experience, how you see fit. I think we really encourage our customers to experiment, test. You might fail once or twice. Hopefully you don't, but the goal is to really define those things that are really going to create a better experience, a richer experience. And when we talked about use cases earlier, how do we get more leads into the top of the funnel, get more people to engage with you at a high level? How do we signal, second use case, how do we signal for sales who are the best, who are the super MQLs that you should be talking to more efficiently, effectively? And also, how can we use these to really enrich and augment our data? Many of us have hundreds of thousands of names in our database, and we only know a fraction of the information that we want to know. How can we tailor a SnapApp to go and ask those questions in an engaging way to kind of fill out that profile in more depth?
And SaaS platform, are you charging on a monthly basis or a per app?
Yeah, it's an annual SaaS platform. It ranges anywhere from 20,000 to 40,000. And today, that's based on the number of apps that you want to deploy. We try to make it as easy as possible for you. We want you to deploy tens, dozens, unlimited apps if that's what you want. But the goal is to make it as super simple as possible.
And do you have some sort of a customer success team that's helping those folks kind of figure out some of the nuances or best practices for app creation?
Yeah, we'd love to say, hey, here it is. Just go, go do and go build. And a lot of customers can do that, but we realize that this is a new thing for a lot of people. So our customer success team is great. We just actually hired a new, expanded the team, brought in a new leader, a woman by the name of Renee Bachman, coming out of Acquia. So it was a great hire for us. She's been doing great things the last several months to make sure that when you deploy SnapApp, that we're helping you get it set up the right way. The actual turn on is easy. Here's a password, off you go.
Yeah.
But the ideation of which apps, what content you have that exists today.
Well, and mapping those apps to the funnel, like you talked about, right?
That's right.
So top of the funnel, we need 3. Middle of the funnel, we need 3. Bottom of the funnel, we need 3, and kind of thinking that through.
Right. And, I think marketers today are very adept. We were already thinking about, content types at the funnel stage, but they tend to be very traditional. Well, I got a blog post for the top. I got a white paper or an ebook for the middle, and I got a case study, ROI, Excel sheet for the bottom, or some sales enablement piece. How do we extend those assets out and think about the interactive pieces that can ride along with that? Or how do we create new ones, for each of those stages as well?
I suspect most customers are on the B2B side just because of the nature of B2B demand gen and lead gen. Do you have some B2C customers playing with it as well?
Yeah, we do. You're right. I mean, our focus of late has been B2B because that's where there's a lot of interesting marketing going on at this level. We have some more traditional consumer-oriented companies. In our history, we also had a big publishing business early on from kind of a pivot from the prior company. So like Oprah Winfrey Network is a customer, which is great. But really, our focus today is more on the B2B side of the world because that's where a lot of the interesting marketing challenges lie for this kind of thing.
Yeah, especially with the multiple funnel stages, no question about it.
Yeah.
Folks watching Marketing Marvels, thanks as always for tuning in. I love what Aaron and the team at SnapApp are doing to get a more comprehensive demo. We can really go through there and Aaron and his team will kind of hold your hand and really show you all the nuts and bolts that we don't have time for in this episode. Go to info.snapapp.com/marketing-marvels, info.snapapp.com/marketing-marvels. We'll have the URL for you, not only in the show notes, but on the screen as well. You can follow along. Go check that out. Sign up for a demo. You are going to love it. I think if you are doing any sort of robust lead generation in a B2B context in particular, this is kind of a no-brainer because there's only so many white papers and blog posts you can create. At some point, everybody has seen as many white papers as they can possibly stand. And so the ability to create some really interesting, innovative, interactive pieces of content without a lot of hassle is really, really interesting and really, really exciting. The ease of use, I think, is a spectacular feature set.
Thank you.
Aaron, I wanted to ask you a couple questions before we close out this episode. You talked about the pivot at SnapApp, and you've been in content marketing and software for a while. How did you get to SnapApp? Kind of what's your origin story with this company?
Yeah, so I've been doing B2B marketing for more years than I care to count at this point, and I have the hair to show it, or don't. So I've worked in the content world. Previously, a couple companies ago, I was in the content management space, and I really enjoyed working closely with marketers and helping marketers figure out how to market better. I think that for me personally, I really enjoy that the experience because marketers are a tough crowd. We're jaded. We've seen it all. But when you can break through with marketers, I think you've really done something interesting. Most recently, I was at a cloud storage company, and we had a successful exit to a large IT company out of California. And as I was thinking about what I might want to do next, looking for a company that had some great technology in the marketing space. With some great momentum behind it, where I could really come in and hopefully help, shape the marketing, shape the go to market, and really help marketers, achieve more. Our leadership team that I joined has done a lot of great things, and there's a lot of momentum behind the business. So I'm super excited to be back in the marketing community. I've been back here since February, and I've been loving every minute of it.
Well, fantastic. We're delighted to have you back on behalf of the marketing community, although I'm not really, enabled to speak on behalf of the entire marketing community, but I will do so anyway. I will be their proxy. Thank you for returning. Last question from me. Other than SnapApp, which is certainly a marketing marvel, I love it. What's a what's marvelous technology to you? What's a marketing technology platform out there that you're like, man, that's awesome?
Yeah, I think there's lots of things, of course. We talked about some of them here, but I think two things. One, I think I really like what Influitive is doing on the advocacy side. There's
me too.
Creating a community around your users. Marketers want to buy from other marketers. We the power of recommendation really matters. And creating a community of raving fans who love what you're doing and are willing to tell other people about it and are enabled. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, the whole point of this show, right, is let me use what measure of influence I may or may not have to tell people, hey, here's software that I think is really interesting that you should look at. I completely agree with that thesis, and I love the guys at Influitive. I actually spoke at their conference recently, and it was really, really well done.
Yeah, they're good guys. But don't sleep on simple technology. Like I'm a big fan of Optimizely. I mean, it's so simple. I think one of the things that I try to do and try to instill in my teams, I think all marketers should do, is test the crap out of everything. If you're not running, countless tests, down to, sort of the growth hacking mentality, but really it's just test everything, and be willing to, test some crazy ass ideas, and they're not all going to work. And Optimizely makes it drop dead simple to think about, running those micro tests, and so it's a pretty tactical piece of technology, but you can really use it to strategic benefit.
Yeah, great point. It's a good question about SnapApp. Can you do A/B testing and things like that within an individual app?
Yeah, we have some A/B testing capabilities within the app, and we continue to add to it, every day. So there's lots of ways you can do within the app A/B testing, and then also, of course, using on your website, using whatever you're using for A/B testing
to test the wrapper around that. Yeah,
exactly.
One thing I forgot to ask you: all the apps are responsive, I presume.
There's a number of different ways to do responsive. So there's a certain amount of responsiveness, out of the box. Sometimes, I think marketers who are really thinking about the mobile channel, that's really important for them, they actually prefer to go build another mobile app specifically. There's a lot of different ways to do that. But we give you limitless possibilities. So yes, the answer is yes.
Great. Fantastic. Aaron, thank you so much. And thanks to the entire SnapApp team for building some truly spectacular technology. I love it. I know lots of folks in the Marketing Marvels community will love it as well. Thanks for taking the time. Great demo as well. Thanks to all of you for watching. Remember, go to info.snapapp.com/marketing-marvels to sign up for a full demo from Aaron and his team. You're going to love that. New episodes of Marketing Marvels launch every 2 to 3 weeks. You can subscribe on our YouTube channel. Go to bit.ly/marketing-marvels. That's bit.ly/marketing-marvels for the direct link to subscribe to this very show. Marketing Marvels is a production of Convince and Convert Media. In addition to this show, we've got a ton of podcasts as well to help marketers get better at their craft. We have Social Pros, we have Content Pros, we have Influence Pros, which is all about influencer marketing, and we have The Business of Story, which is a podcast about building Hollywood storytelling principles into your marketing. All 4 of those shows can be found on our website, convinceandconvert.com, and of course on iTunes or whatever you happen to use to listen to podcasts, or go to convinceandconvert.com/podcast for all of that stuff. Until the next episode, I am Jay Baer from Convince and Convert. Thanks so much for being a marketing marvel.